so interesting. I actually was talking about this with friends. I mean, there's so much going on here. The first thing is this woman was trying to be complimentary. The article does go on to say how successful Shonda is and how, the women are strong and multi-layered, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, even if it's unintentional racism, it's still racism. And I think her biggest mistake was not taking that article to, there's got to be at least one black person at the New York Times she could have run this by and said, like, is this coming across the way I intended? Because, I don't...
Is that your white person accent?
No, that's not particular. Because, that kind of unintentional racism, it's rampant, and to call someone an angry black woman when that's so far from who Shonda is, that's so far from the character she creates. The lead on Grey's Anatomy that she created was a white woman. The lead on Private Practice was a white woman. She writes women generally incredibly strong, no matter their ethnic background.
That's right.
And I have had this in my own career so many times where people will say, like, I was up for a movie where the role was written black, and then they were like, well, they're not going to put a black person in that role now because they put Morgan Freeman in the movie, and that's enough black people for the film. I mean, it happens all the time that, like, well, you're black, but you're not black. And I think you have to think about what you're saying when you say it, because saying to somebody, if I had to date a black girl, Aisha, it would be you, is not a compliment. It's not a compliment. No matter what you're saying, that has been said to me so many times. I'm like, thank you? Who's forcing you to date black people? Is that a thing?
Did you want to weigh in here, honorary black person?
I was just like personally offended for Viola Davis because I find her no less beautiful than Kerry Washington. Halle Berry is more beautiful than anyone on this planet, any race. Like, that's not a good comparison for anybody. But Viola Davis, she's gorgeous. And I just think, yeah, she should have been more careful. I understand.
Here's how it works. We have 7 puppies, 2 bowls of kibble, one representing the New England Patriots, the other representing the Seattle Seahawks. Whichever team's bowl gets the most puppies will be crowned the Super Bowl champs. Now, let's meet the puppies. Gary, hey, guys, I want you to behave. No butt sniffing. All right, here we go. Let's release the puppies. Get over here, Gary. Right now it's a tie game. It can go either way. It looks like Seattle has it. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. And to all the Seahawks fans, let's see if these puppies got it right. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Jimmy, I gotta say, that might be subject to review. Looked to me like at the very end, some of the puppies were moving toward the Patriot Bowl, and you might have called it for the Seahawks a little too early. On the other hand, if it went to the Patriots, conspiracy theorists would have then said that the Patriots had sprayed their bowl with some sort of bacon odor or something to draw the puppies in that direction. So,
I was sitting all alone, watching people. was sitting all alone, watching people. Getting down with you, I wanna move with you, sexy
While last year's tragic events tested us as individuals and as a city, it's important to remember that one senseless act does not, cannot, and will not define us as a community.
Well, that's Steve Hogan, the mayor of Aurora, Colorado, marking 1 year since the deadly movie theater massacre. 12 people died, dozens more were injured when a gunman tossed canisters of tear gas into the packed auditorium and opened fire on an unsuspecting audience. Survivors, victims' families, and mourners all gathering to pay tribute at today's memorial. And in addition to reading the names of the 12 people killed, they read the names of more than 2,500 people who have been victims of gun violence since the tragedy.